Hello everybody. As I promised today on Facebook, I'm going to make this video, a little introduction. I already made a video about Venus retrograde and what's going to happen. Why do I make this right now? A lot of the people ask me some questions about what's going on. What is all this energy? What is these things that's going on? Specifically today. And today, actually, it's the ignition of Venus retrograde. That is the time when the moon conjunct Venus retrograde and puts your attention, puts your focus into that planet. You just focus all the energy, all the emotions into Venus retrograde. But what it's mean to you? Venus retrograde, what it does is the past returns. Specifically what's in the Scorpio. Well, let's look at it that little bit more deep inside of it. Why Scorpio? What is Scorpio? Scorpio is the highest vibrations of Libra. Scorpio, it's the part that we are hiding deep inside of us. The thing that doesn't come out there, out in the world. It's our own, it's our privacy, it's our underworld, it's the things that we don't say and we don't put out in the real path for others. So right now when a Venus is in retrograde, if you look at it in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you felt that energy that comes in with the aggravations of what happened in the past, and you try to blame whatever happened into your life. You're trying to get to the positions to go ahead and approve your actions of your ego-based point, and this is why when Venus moved into Scorpio, created all those tensions. A lot of you felt it probably not being able to sleep, simply because the energy is there to rewind your past. Now, since all this that you saw in the past few weeks, that was the aggravations part of you trying to point the blame into others, trying to go ahead and approve your own actions on the point of state of the ego. But what happened is right now, since the moon came in here, the moon is like, stop. Now you're going to look all those situations, but from the point of view of soul. And that part of point of view of soul, you're going to become back. And you're going to look all the situations that you were angry at it, you're going to go ahead and look at them from soul point of view. So you can understand them from a soul point of view, what actually happened, what was really the part of it. And this is why Venus retrograde is going to be coming back and haunt you. That is what that's mean. The past returns. Whatever you did in your life, whatever your situation are, from whatever you are born until now, all of a sudden is going to begin to be rewind. The parts that whatever happened into it, whatever you did wrong against people, all of a sudden it's going to become like dump on you. It's like all the crap that you did in your life, it just comes in into it. And you're going to feel like you have to do something. You feel like you need to change something. You feel like you want to have this cleared out. You want to be keeping this. Simply, you have to keep the past. You have to clean the past so you can move in a better future. And that's why it's the whole process of this retrograde planet. The retrograde planets, what they do is they goes in first forward. They tell you the situations that you're going to work on the ego. They go back and they teaching you how to work the same situations, but this time to work it out with your soul. Then they stop and say, okay, I taught you, you learn how it is, now move forward and now act as a soul. And this is what the Venus retrograde does. But what happens today? What happened is today it's that the moon, it's together with Venus. This is the ignition period. And during that ignition period, as you see it here, those are the two red, I will zoom that a little bit so you can see it better. That is this opposition here between Venus, the moon, against the universe. And you're going to feel like you want to go against God. You can go against God. God's bring those visions back to you. And that part will create aggravations because it is about your masculine, which is Mars. People who are with the feminine energy, they will be really feel like, why is this in me? What is this pain is inside of me? What is this sadness? What happened with it? Why I'm so hurt? And so on and so on. There will be of this part of the sadness that all of a sudden comes in, and there will be rewind what happened in the past, why they were hurt. People who have a masculine energy, see, I'm not talking about men or women, because I'm talking about masculine and feminine. There could be a females with the female energy and they're hurt. There could be a man with the female energy that are hurt. But there could be a female with a masculine energy, and there could be a man's with a masculine energy. Talking about the energy depends on what is inside of you, depends on what you listen to it. So all this is created so you can look at it, your relationship. Why? Uranus is in retrograde. Uranus is going to go back into Aries. And when I go back into Aries, it's going to give you a second chance. You to fix the crap you need to fix with the best partner according to the universe, not according to you. So when a Uranus move into Aries, it's going to go back and say, okay, look at that again from point of view of soul, because it's a retrograde energy. Look at that issue, look at these situations. I'm going to give you a last chance, because when I move to Taurus and direct, I will rearrange the physical world. And whatever it's done, it's done. I will trigger you down the road, but now I'm going to teach you. You better learn. If you don't learn, there is nothing I can do for you. And that's what's going to happen in the next few months. So, but we're talking about here that important part of Venus, that Venus right now, it's turned a retrograde, and it's going to go back into Libra. Why is coming back exactly into Libra? It's coming down into Libra to learn the proper relationship. You can have a relationship with others. The most important relationship, though, you have to have the relationship with yourself, your real truth that you're going to have. You can't be in a real relationship if you're not real yourself. And this is why the feminine energy has to go back into the cardinal changes to fix itself as a feminine, while the masculine, it's rebelling. So the masculine can go ahead and find the fire of the power to go ahead and change itself of point of view of what changes it has to be made in order these actions to happen. So if you take a look at yourself, just from your self point of view, you are working on yourself, doing your inner work. If you have you are focused on your feminine side, you're learning how to work within your soul. Or if you're working on the masculine side, you are to create actions that supporting your feminine side. Even though right now you have inner fights within, that's what happened. But if you are in a relationship or some sort of relationship, this situation is going to be very tense. You're going to be fighting against something that it's already been made. If you're in a relationship, you will have this constant fight into it. If you're in a twin flame dynamics of it, this part is going to be too strong. You will have this rewind from the past of what you did wrong, what your partner did wrong. You will feel it from each other, what happened, when they happened, and what you need to do, and what you need to work on it to fix on it. So over the time, that energy actually is going to change. We are going to see that the way the moon is activated Venus, it's going to be actually activating Mars as well. And when I activate Mars, it's going to tell them, okay, it's time for you to get to work. It's time for you to rebel. Leave Venus to work on her own. Don't bother it, don't chase it, don't go out there and push it on it. Let her do her work. You need to focus on your own actions. A lot of the people, though, they're going to be chasing. They're going to be angry at their feminine side. They're going to be angry at their partner. They're going to be angry at their twin flame. This is a very important part to understand, that when this occurs, which is going to be in 8 days from now, you're going to be feeling it. The warrior part inside of it, the rebel inside of you, is going to be talking to you. And when the moon comes in here, it's going to be really, really strong. As you look at it, Venus has come back. It's going to continue its her road, going back into areas. But as you're paying attention, it's all the time an opposition against the universe. The universe right now, it's teaching Venus how to act in the soul. A lot of the people who they gonna be like, I don't want to hear my soul, I don't want to get in my soul, they're gonna be put into a state, kind of like a force to learn, force to see. The inner visions, they're gonna be very strong. Those inner vision, like a presence of the people, of the actions, of the reactions that you see, they're gonna be increased very, very strong. We're talking about oppositions of two retrograde planets. Uranus is the biggest planet with an energy that it is goes into as far as a within the soul. And when that turns retrograde, the energy is so focused into the soul. Since Venus is also a retrograde, which is the love in the soul is going to be increased tremendously. You might gonna feel very good love in the soul from now on. In the next, we're talking about 3-4 weeks. That part until it comes back into it, until Venus get direct, and is gonna become back. It's gonna be go back here at Scorpio, and is gonna be no more opposing Uranus. That soul love is gonna be existing at all the time, because Uranus is gonna be supporting that part into. As you see it, on October 24th, the moon is going to be actually ignite Uranus. The moon already is ignited Uranus for all these parts, but as you see it here, that is going to be the huge lessons that the universe is going to be delivered into it. That's going to be on October 24th. Those lessons, they're going to be kind of like put in front of you. A lot of the people can probably, if they're talking, as you see it here, Venus is no more in arguments with Mars. At that moment, if you connect with Mars, there's going to be some aggravated messages to the feminine part of what they did wrong. That's going to be like God is giving you a message. Hey, this is, you should have worked on it. This is, you should have done it right. You done this wrong. Since the sun is going to be there, and this is going to be a full moon, you can put that this part is going to be on steroids. And this energy, I'm talking about October 24th, is going to be very, very powerful. We are going to have also the sun is going to be in Scorpio. This energy about the fight inside of it is going to be very strong. The underworld part, where Venus is, it's going to be very strong to oppose everything. Just so you know, though, if you take a look at it here, Uranus is still in Taurus. That means he still controls the parts that's going on in the physical world. So maybe there's going to be some situations that God is going to be put you in a position that you have to go and fix certain actions to go ahead and understand the information, understand the parts that you need to understand, even though if you are resisting into it. The retrograde, it's also a resistance of the ego. You're resisting the ego to embrace the soul. So to continue and go on to it with this process about the reviewing the past, the moon is going to come back and it's going to trigger Venus again, but there's going to be a very important part right here when it's going to ignite Venus and Mars to reconnect together. First, you're going to be reconnected inside of you by let go of the past, and then what's going to happen is as you see it, Uranus is in a very good shape with Mars. That means Mars has been already finished what he needed to do. He's already in Pisces. That means he's already wise enough to work with the soul. The same time, that trine here still existing between Venus and Mars is going to be the best part when the masculine and the feminine, they're going to understand they have to work within the soul. While they're fixing the soul, they will fixing the heart, and when they're fixing the heart, they will fixing the material part. Uranus is already going to be into Aries, which is going to be calling for cardinal, inner, personal changes, including the soul. So all this is going to be a soul work, inner work. That's going to be a very powerful. This is going to be on November 15th. By the way, I'm going to be in Italy by that. So if I can make the reports, I will probably make them. You will probably will see it. And the whole process is going to begin to shift back when Venus begin direct. As you see it direct, she's still opposing Uranus. That part of control from Uranus to stay and to tell the Venus, you going to do this. You can't resist God. You can't opposing God. That's what this is going into. Make sure you're not doing the wrong things. And if you look at it, the energy where Mars and the Moon are together, that part that I just explained of it, it's going to be more and more and more on the 16th. When the Moon comes back here, it's going to opposing Uranus. And that is the energy when you going to be focused of making a cardinal changes with the people who are surrounding you. People from the past, from your surrounding, which is they were in control of you, because this it's in a Capricorn. That's going to be the part of where it's profession, where it's your relatives, your social circle, everybody. You going to be triggered by that. That is going to be the part when you're going to realize that some of the people who are your friends, your close relatives, or your surrounding social circuits, or they're your spiritual part into it, they didn't help you to do your own changes. This moment right there, it's going to be realization. And some of you, when that comes in on December 2nd, you're going to feel like some of your friends should not be belong in your life. Your surrounding, your part of the, which is Pluto is going to be going away. Because you right now are in Scorpio. Venus right now it's in Scorpio, and she is like, I realized what was wrong. I was listening the wrong parts. I was listening the wrong situations. Now it's time for me to clean up. Now it's time for me to tell everything that I need to tell and I need to shine the light into the darkness. That's mean that a lot of the people is going to be like, I'm tired of this, I had enough of this, I am going to be my truth. And this is why it's important. Venus and Scorpio is shining the love within the hell that you created yourself. Because Scorpio is the hidden part. Scorpio is the face mask inside of us. Scorpio is the part that we put it inside of us, and that's it. It doesn't go out. Nobody knows nothing. Like nobody knows nothing. But you know what? The universe knows everything. So this is why this situation will comes in. But there is one more thing. We are going to have Mercury retrograde. During that Mercury retrograde, if you pay attention, there's going to be the messages deliver of how you properly to do the right things. So with these aggravations of it, you're going to have to find the patience, but you have to be very, very good motivated to remove the things that prevent you to become a better person, even if that is someone who is close to you. If they don't understand you and they don't work for you, they should not be around you, and they should not be telling you how you to live your life, how you to make your life, how it should be, and what it needs to be. So as the next part, when the moon actually comes here, that's going to be on December 17th. That squaring part right here, we are going to feel that again. This is the time for the people who actually did not understand, do not listen, do not get it. That's going to be this cardinal changes when people going to be choose, you know what, enough is enough. I have to be what I am. I have to be my true self. You standing on my way, you are the part of unknown, so therefore, bye. And when this thing comes in up here, you will look at it, Venus, it's going to be at that position where it's already begin her retrograde journey. That's going to be at 10 degrees of Scorpio, and that is going to be the time when Saturn is going to be playing its part. Saturn is the teacher. Saturn is the one who stays behind the shadow, and it's teaching you what to do and how to do it. During this time, this period, Mars is going to be sextile Saturn, and Mars is going to be trine Venus. That is going to be the only aspect, Venus and Mars, we are going to have when Venus coming back at the 10 degree of Scorpio. This is the journey that begin to be a retrograde, a comeback. Now Venus is renewed, Venus is come back, and this time she wants to expose the secret. She wants to tell everything. She wants to be okay with it. And Mars, the masculine, is ready to accept the part. If that is a things that you're working inside of you as a person, you're gonna be able to combine the masculine and the positive, and you to work for your inner work, to have actions into Capricorn. If that is you're in a relationship, that's going to be the perfect relationship, because right now everything will be solved after all the bullshit that has been going to it, and you're going to be feel more completed because the veil is come back, the secrets are out, and you're going to find your peace in soul. The peace in soul is going to come in because Mars is in Pisces. This is the part when the warrior looking for his retirement, and he is finally understand the peace, what it's meant to be. But the warrior is going to be ready to go ahead and move a new life when Mars enter Aries. But that area here, the December 17th, that's going to be a very good day for the people to go ahead commit to each other just a little bit before Christmas. So if you are go ahead and having a good holidays, if you're doing your inner work, and if you everything is okay, you're probably gonna be fine with all these situations. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video will help you out, and just make sure that you're working on your past, you revise it, what it is, you realize it, what it was wrong, from you to you, before you to realize it, the wrong to somebody else. You have to do the actions first for yourself before you do actions with somebody else. And that whole process of Venus retrograde it's got its own purpose, it's got its own situations, because Uranus is going to be come back a little bit more in Aries, and then it's going to be shifting, and when it shifts back into Taurus, he's not going to come back. Uranus is giving you a second chance. Uranus is giving you the last chance you to be. Once he moves into a Taurus, that is the universe is already made up its mind on the basis of your actions, and it's going to create, it's going to build everything into the material world, to put the material world in order, that the way you put your spiritual world. If your spiritual world sucks, your material world will suck. If your spiritual world was okay, if you're true to yourself, if you're true to your soul, your material way, it's going to be okay, because your soul is going to be happy with what you have. Compared to the ego is never going to be happy of how much you have. You're always going to look for more and more and more and more, and happiness is not going to happen. So thank you so much for watching the video, and be loved.